Hey everybody, this is Josh Runquist here for the Heavy Debriefings YouTube channel for the final episode of Out Today and What I Missed for 2024. This will cover everything from November 15th, 2024 through the end of the year that I've already reviewed. Sadly, I know there are so many more albums that are coming out in the next several weeks that I won't get the chance to be able to cover, but because of absolute burnout and my diabetic ketoacidosis that took me over last week, I need to put the kibosh on the reviews for the rest of the year. Plus, I think 530 albums in 2024 is a good amount of album reviews, so let's finish this up with the last 11 albums that I'm looking at in 2024. First up, we have The Mosaic Window with Hema Sanctum. The sophomore album from this LA band has really taken me by surprise. Having missed their debut album, this is my first foray into the band, and it's everything that I love about melodic black metal. The band knows how to hit those melodic black metal moments with such ease, all while straying from the path just enough to add moments of prog and doom elements to really make this mellow black style worth standing out. With this being another shining example of how a one-man band can create some of the best music in 2024, it never fails to shock me how complete, competent, and mesmerizing the music can be, all from one mind. The production style is pristine, the songwriting is exactly what it needs to be, and the atmosphere is so dark but so rich. You need to give this one a shot if you are a black metal fan or black metal adjacent fan. You'll be glad that you did. Next up, we have Super Monster Party with Rage Quit. One of the most fun albums of the year, Super Monster Party have released their fourth album and it is easily their best. It's progressive, it's power, it's death metal, it's hard rock, it's all about the video games I grew up playing. There's nothing else I could literally ask for. The vocals know how to go from that great growled sound to that top 40 rock radio. The music hits on all the levels of the games that they're talking about, from Sonic to Mortal Kombat to Castlevania, Resident Evil, and more. And above all, it's just so much fun. Pair this one up with the latest album from One Morning Left entitled Neon Inferno, and you have an amazing 1-2 punch combination of music. If you're a gamer, you owe it to yourself to check this one out. Next up, we have Tismani with I Feel Fine. Finally, this band has put out their first LP since putting out music in 2017, and I've been waiting this whole time. I have to admit, I am not disappointed. They have such a fun way of making that revival metal sound their own. They sound like a mix of Judas Priest, Night Demon, and Holy Grail, all while being a brother duo. Eddie and Sebastian Vasquez have put out one of the most fun, enjoyable, and what I can only imagine will be one of the best live revival metal albums of 2024, and it's not even close. This is how you do it and make it fun. This is all I want in the genre, and I think if you check this one out, you will agree. And finally, for brand new music out today, it is Voodoo Circle with Hail to the King. Unreal that this is the last album I'm covering for music out today in 2024. That said, I'm so happy it's the latest album from Voodoo Circle, as it is a pure treat. It is that classic heavy rock sound with that combination of Whitesnake, Zeppelin, Deep Purple, and Rainbow all mixed together to create some of the most catchy hard rock heavy metal of 2024. But they've always added their own spices and flavorings into their sound to make everything their own. It gets heavy in the right spots, it gets melodic in the right spots, it's so catchy throughout, everything that I want it to be. The production is perfect for the style, and the songwriting is simply meant to be as effective as possible. Again, it's so great to see the band going at full force in 2024 and put out one of the best styles of this genre in 2024. If somehow you've never checked out Voodoo Circle and you enjoy this genre, you need to check this one out, and I mean now. And now for some stuff that I've missed along the way, starting with the band Dead Space and the Dark Enlightenment. Once known for being a very depressive gothic black metal band, Dead Space have fully embraced their namesake and created a cosmic horror blackened death metal album for the ages. Maybe they are named after the video game series, or it's just wishful thinking, but it does remind me a lot of Dead Space. This is some of the darkest, scariest horror film music that I've heard this side of Portal, and like the aforementioned band, I hear them, plus moments of bands like Blåtas Nord, or Sonic Pazuzu, Atlas, and much more. In fact, this goes neck and neck with the latest Atlas of the scariest album of 2024. This one may be a bit more comprehensible, but it's no less effective. With crystal clear production that is layered in fear, this is one of the most jaw-dropping displays of genre-changing I've heard in quite some time. I'm flabbergasted by how powerful and intense this album truly is. And if you need something like this, you need this album. Go pick it up right now. Next, we have Ethereal with Downfall. The third album from this Portuguese outfit comes 18 years after their sophomore album and the band breaking up, and it doesn't feel like they've lost a step in the nearly 20 years since they've been gone. Combining such a great feeling of gothic doom with the occasional proggy moments that lead this album to feel like an updated version of what the band has always been about. For those unfamiliar, imagine a mix between Amorphous, Moonspell, and Paradise Lost, and you'll be starting to get to see what they're going after. With a fantastic production style and a songwriting that's instantly catchy from start to finish, this album proves that gothic doom has always been here, and it's always here to stay. And I'm so glad to see that this band has come back to show the world how it's done. And now for the final album that I missed this year, it is Phosphorus with Cosmic Xenotaph, the debut album between Simon White of Diabolus Incarnate and Adrian Erlandson, the legendary gothic musician we all wish that we could be. This is extreme gothic metal for the ages. It hits the right tone of the gothic sounds that you would expect from this duo, but it also goes in the heavier aspects of black and death and extreme metal all on top of it. It reminds me of a darker, gothier Valenfire, which makes me super happy. The production is super heavy and it sets the right tone for the music on display, and both guys are playing their undead hearts out on this one. I still can't believe I missed this one for so long, as it came out near the beginning of the year, and I would have been singing its praises so much sooner otherwise. This is how you make heavy gothic music in 2024, and I love every single second of it. And now for the first time ever in this show, I'll be talking about 4 albums that are going to be coming up that I'm not going to be able to cover as they're coming out, so these are early reviews. Starting with the debut album from Aeon Gods with King of Gods, coming out November 22nd. This debut album from this German band is the right kind of heavy symphonic power metal. In 2024, it feels like symphonic power metal is a bad thing, and so many bands have left the genre to be more electronic or modern. It makes me happy that there's a new band and a new album in 2024 that shows just how powerful symphonic power metal really can be. It's fast, heavy, grandiose, everything you love about the genre, from its soaring vocals to the symphonic layers, just some of the catchiest choruses I've heard in the 2020s. Aeon Gods is keeping the spirit of the genre alive, and we need that more than ever. What an incredible album. Coming out December 6th is Among These Ashes with Embers of Elysium. The sophomore album from this Detroit band is pure, unadulterated power thrash. It only takes about half a song or two to hear the Sanctuary and Nevermore influences throughout this entire album, but thankfully it's not just a clone. The band knows how to get their own influences and make their own thing. Sometimes it goes thrashier, sometimes it goes proggier, but the spirit of that power thrash is alive and well in this band. The production is a bit raw in that 90s raw style, which fits so perfectly. The vocals are insane on this album, as you would want them to be, and the musicianship is in absolute top tier form. Seriously, if you miss the days of heavy power thrash, Among the Ashes are keeping the genre alive, and I hope it will inspire others to do the same. This is how it's done, folks. Coming out November 22nd is the brand new album from Fellowship with The Skies Above Eternity. The return of Fellowship couldn't be more welcome. Sure, it's only been 2 years since their debut album, but this band is just so much fun that they've been missed in that relatively short time. And in that short amount of time, the band has returned with their fun level going all the way to 11, as every song on here is just sure to put a smile on your face. While not every song sounds like their debut single from the album Dawnbreaker, which is easily the most fun song on the album, it had to be the single. The band never loses sight of who they are, and they write for the fanbase and for themselves. All the songs deserve to be played live in that live setting, but especially Dawnbreaker, as that's gonna just put them through the stratosphere. In the times that we live in, we just need an album that'll make everyone smile. Fellowship have done that and then some here. Seriously, you owe it to yourself. If you enjoy fun power metal, you need this album. And finally, my final album of 2024 that I'm covering, coming out December 6th, is the brand new album from Nightingales with Shadow Reaper. One of the original melodeath bands, Nightingales, since 1995, has been a band putting out some of the best melodeath ever recorded, and in 2024, just a year after their last album, the band has not lost any momentum with Shadow Reaper. One of the finest examples of what this band is capable of, with their dark, cold, powerful sense of songwriting, matched with killer production value, and an overall sense of how the original sound of melodeath can still be done all these years later. Seriously, if you've never checked them out before, and you love that old school style of At the Gates, early day Dark Tranquility and In Flames, and the early day albums from The Haunted, you owe it to yourself to check this one out. And there you go, folks. Not just 11 albums done here today, but 530 albums done in total since January 2024, my final album reviews of the year. Thank you so much for checking these out. Whether you've been checking these out since the beginning of the year, you're checking this out for the very first time, or somewhere in between, it means so much to me that you have come and check out these videos. I'm going to be taking the next couple weeks off while I finalize my top 100 albums of 2024. And again, I know I'm missing so many releases from bands like Body Count, Opeth, The Foreshadowing, and more, but unfortunately, I always take December off. I have suffered complete burnout from 530 album reviews, and last week I was in the hospital for half a week with diabetic ketoacidosis. My body and mind are telling me I need to stop for the year, so I hope you can understand. And if there is something that truly does stand out in 2024 that I missed out on, I will be covering it when I come back in January 2025. Don't you worry. But until the top 100 albums of 2024, this has been the final Out Today and What I Missed for 2024 on the Heavy Debriefings YouTube channel. And for that very Heavy Debriefings YouTube channel, this is Josh Ronquist saying, embrace the skillet.